Hi, and welcome to PraDa Law Live. I'm your host, Jackie Mendez. Today we have an excellent show with some excellent attorneys ready to give you all the information that you need. There's a number on your screen, 888-88-LEGAL. Give us a call. The consultation's free. I'd like to introduce our lawyers today. First up, we have Javier Rodriguez.
Good evening. It's great to be here to talk about workers' comp.
Next up, we have Alexis Garcia.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
And of course, Jennifer Pratt.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking labor laws, we're talking workman's comp, we're talking personal injury. There's a number on your screen again, 888-88-LEGAL. The consultation is free, the call is free. We're willing and we're ready to hear your answers, so.
That's right, Jackie. We have an excellent show today. We have excellent attorneys, like Jackie said. And if you have any questions regarding workers' comp, regarding personal injury, or labor cases, this is what we like to call our free show. Now, I say that with a caveat. Free in the fact that we will take your case free of any upfront legal fees or costs. And you only have to pay us if we collect. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We take on that risk. We take on the burden. We want your problems to be on our shoulders. So give us a call. The number's on the screen. We have attorney Javier Rodriguez with us today, and he has 20 years of experience, right, Mr. Rodriguez?
20 years.
Doing exclusively what? Tell us a little bit about what you do.
So workers' comp's very simple. I'm going to ask you one question. Have you been hurt on the job? Once more, have you been hurt on the job? If the answer to that question is yes, guess what? You have a case. I'm going to do you one better. It doesn't even matter if it's your fault. You did something, shouldn't have done it. Our production guys are going to laugh about this, but if they're up there trying to fix the lights, instead of getting a ladder, they grab a couple boxes and they fall, they're still entitled to benefits. They have a case.
Wow.
All your medical benefits are going to be paid for. All of your checks every week at your house are going to be sent to you. So it doesn't matter if it's your fault. If you got hurt on the job, you have a case, you need to call us. It's a free consultation. We only get paid if we bring money in your pocket. The number is 888-88-LEGAL.
Thank you, Javier. If you've been hurt, he just said it. If you may have a case, give us a call. We want to hear from you. The number's on the screen, 888-88-LEGAL.
That's right. And not only do we take on workers' compensation cases free in the sense that you don't have to pay us anything up front. We only charge you if we're able to collect. But today we also have with us attorney Alexis Garcia, who usually handles exclusively our bankruptcy cases at the office. But you're going to help us out a little because it's still somewhat related in the sense that these are usually federal cases.
Correct.
And tell us a little bit about what you've been learning in the office about these labor cases.
Yes, okay. So labor cases are brought under FLSA, which is the Fair Labor Standards Act.
Got it.
The federal.
It's a tongue twist. It's a little bit of a tongue twist, that one.
So the way this act worked is it's established basically a bunch of minimums or a bunch of requirements and burdens that are put onto employers. For example, it defines what's a 40-hour work week. If you work more than 40 hours, it establishes overtime, and it gets into, are you being paid overtime wages? It sets a federal standard minimum wage. What is interesting, these cases are brought in federal court, and you can bring in state law actions as well, because there are some state laws regarding fair pay. And again, these cases, we take on these cases with no upfront charges for you. So if we don't recover anything, you don't pay us anything. But if we do recover, then we will take our fees.
Thank you, Alexis. Once again, the number's on your screen, 888-88-LEGAL. We have lawyers willing to help you all over the country, willing to pick up the phone call. It's a free consultation. Please give us a call. Jennifer.
That's right. And I'm here today to talk to you briefly about personal injury cases. And a lot of times we think that personal injury cases are strictly just car accidents. And while those are a big amount of the personal injury cases that we handle at our office, you can also include to that premises liabilities and even a smaller cases, perhaps as a dog bite, although I've seen some catastrophic dog bites. You're at a friend's house and you fall. If you fall outside, inside, there may be an insurance that can attach to your injuries if you were injured. So basically, like Attorney Rodriguez, I want to just ask you one question. Have you been injured? And if you've been injured, outside of the scope of work, of course, that's going to be for Mr. Rodriguez to handle, you are probably entitled, and we're happy to investigate and take on all the risk and all the costs to see if you have a personal injury case. And yes, the two do intertwine. Workers' compensation and personal injury. How do they sometimes intertwine, Attorney Rodriguez?
Well, a lot of times maybe you're at work and your employer asks you to make some deliveries. You're a delivery truck driver, you're sending stuff, and you have a car accident. Well, with the car accident, you're going to have a case that Attorney Pratt's going to be able to handle, but you're also going to have a workers' comp case. So with the workers' comp benefits, again, they have to pay for all your medical benefits, and they have to pay for your checks while you're off of work. The workers' comp will have a lien against your auto accident claim, but you definitely have two cases. So it's very important that you have an attorney that not only knows how to do personal injury cases, car accident cases, but also knows the law in workers' comp. Because you have two cases, two ways of recovery, and again, all these cases are free. The consultation's free, the call you make is free, so you have nothing to lose. Give us a call, let us help you out.
Oh, and Attorney Rodriguez, interesting, because before the show we were discussing how labor law and workman's comp are sometimes intertwined as well. So I figure we'll bring them all in together. So you're explaining to me that in order to determine what someone is said to receive in a workman's comp claim, you ask for records from the employer. So the employer has to turn over time records, how much you worked, how much you were paid. Going through those records now, you can see, hey, is this individual owed overtime? Was this individual paid the minimum wage? So if you have attorneys who understand these nuances and how certain areas of law overlap, then you can get a bigger bang for your buck, and now you have different actions in many different arenas.
Thank you, Alexis. Once again, if you've been injured at work, if you've been injured at all, if you've had an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall, give us a call. We can help you. The number's on the screen, 888-88-LEGAL.
You know, with car accident cases, another misconception is that if the car accident was your fault, then there's no way you can recover. And while that is oftentimes the truth, a lot of people don't understand and don't know. And if you don't have this policy right now in your own car vehicle right now, please get it. It's called UM. And I'm not talking about the U, baby. I'm talking about under or uninsured motorist vehicle insurance. And the reason I stress that is because even assuming the accident is your fault, there is a way to file a claim against your own insurance to try to get you compensated. Now, a lot of people will say, but why am I suing my own insurance company? Well, it's similar to a homeowner's insurance. You pay for this insurance every month, and if you're injured, you should get compensated for it.
That's right.
At the end.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, give us a call. The number's on the screen, 888-88-LEGAL. We'd like to hear from you. We'd like to give you your answers. And, you know,
that's right. We're here to answer your questions. We're here to help. We have an amazing team of lawyers. Production is telling us that we're coming up on our first break. But I want to go back to Attorney Rodriguez, and I want him to, explain to us a little more once we get back from the break with regards to making a claim against your employer. Similar to how a lot of people may feel uncomfortable about filing a claim against their own car insurance, do it. We have, isn't it right, and I know we're coming up on a 1 minute, but and you can certainly expand on it after the break, but isn't it true that if you make a claim for workers' comp against your employer, it's not necessarily your employer who pays, right? Break that down for the people that feel like, oh, I don't want to go against my employer. They've been good to me. We talked about that earlier.
You're absolutely right, Jennifer. So basically, when you file a claim, you're not filing a claim directly against the employer. You're filing a claim against their workers' comp carrier. Similar to when you have a car accident and you're suing the person, but really you're suing Geico as well, or the auto insurance policy. So a lot of times people have a misconception that I've been here for 10 years, I've been here for 15 years, I don't want to do anything that's going to negatively affect my employment status. Well, you know what? You're entitled to your workers' comp benefits. You're entitled to those medical benefits. You're entitled to those weekly checks. So you're not doing anything wrong by filing that claim, and I urge you to give us a call and help you walk through that process with you.
Thank you, Attorney Rodriguez. We're going to go to a brief commercial break. We'll be right back, where we're going to be talking a lot more about personal injury, labor cases, and, of course, workers' compensation.
I know you're home right now asking yourself, how will I pay my rent, my mortgage, my bills, my credit card debt? I'm attorney Alexis Garcia with PraDa Law. I've personally helped people with financial problems over the last 10 years. I understand what you are going through. We saw people lose it all in the 2008 financial crisis. You don't have to lose it all. The consultation is free. Call us now. I will help protect what you have built. You have nothing to lose by calling us. Call us now. These are trying times. This deadly virus is affecting our health, economy, jobs, our small business owners. Bankruptcy protection may be able to save assets and immediately stop your creditors from harassing you. Small business owners, employees of business of any size. We know you need help. Call us now. We will help you get back on your feet. Don't wait until it's too late. This is the time to call.
Sé que estás en la casa ahora mismo preguntándote, ¿Cómo voy a pagar la hipoteca, la renta, los biles, las tarjetas de crédito? Soy la abogada Jennifer Pratt con PraDa Law. Yo personalmente he ayudado a las personas con problemas financieros durante los últimos 10 años. Yo entiendo por lo que estás pasando. Vimos cómo la gente lo perdió todo durante la crisis financiera del 2008. No tienes que perderlo todo. Llama ahora. La consulta es gratis. Te ayudaremos a proteger todo lo que has construido durante todos estos años. Sabemos que estos son tiempos difíciles. Este virus mortal está amenazando nuestra salud, nuestra economía, nuestros empleos y a los propietarios de nuestras pequeñas empresas. La consulta es gratis. Llame ahora. Te ayudaremos a recuperarte. No esperes hasta que sea demasiado tarde. Llame ya.
Hi, and welcome back to PraDa Law Live. Once again, I'm Jackie Mendez, your host for today's show. We're talking personal injury, workman's comp, and labor laws. There's a number on your screen. We want you to call it. We want to answer your questions. 888-88-LEGAL. Give us a call. The consultation's free. The call is free. And we're ready to help you. Jennifer?
That's right, Jackie. And before the break, Attorney Rodriguez was talking about workers' compensation and who actually is the person that's going to be paying out any of your settlement. And in talking about settlement, Attorney Rodriguez, tell us a little bit about the way workers' compensation works. I know you and I talked earlier regarding a case that currently we have at the office where they're paying all the medical bills. They seem to be doing everything right. The person, of course, feels bad. They like their job. But that word settlement hasn't quite come up yet, and now maybe they get fired, maybe they don't. Elaborate a little bit on that and what you told me earlier.
Right. I mean, they're never going to talk to you about settlement, right? Because that's money's coming out of the insurance company's pockets to try to put in your pockets. So it's very simple. You need an attorney that understands the law, understands how they value the cases. Prior to working with the injured workers, I worked for the insurance companies. I worked for the employers. I know how they value the cases. And that's critical in understanding how we can get you a settlement to put monies in your pocket. So it's very simple. They look at what's the cost of the future medical, what's the cost of the future wages, and they calculate that and they try to lowball you to try to get you out of the system. They do not care about you. You are a number to them. They have hundreds and hundreds of cases. You need an experienced attorney, someone who's been doing this for more than 20 years, to look out for you, to look out for your pocket, and put money in your pocket. These cases we take on for free. You heard that right. The consultation's free. The call is free. The only way we recover is if you recover. So you need to call us today. That's
right. As you can see, we have the experienced lawyers who have been on both sides. We want to help you. The number's on the screen, 888-88-LEGAL. Give us a call. We want to know what your questions are. We want to be able to help. And
that's what we're doing here today. We're helping the community. We're helping you with your questions. These are our free cases, the cases where you don't pay anything unless we are able to collect for you. We take on the risk. We take on the burden. We take on the cost. And you have experienced attorneys here as part of our law firm that are going to give you utmost professional legal services and quality, competent legal services. Attorney Rodriguez, I know before the break we were also speaking about the intersection between labor law and workers' compensation. Talk to us a little bit. You mentioned briefly some of the employers that are covered. If you're a business owner right now watching this, or you're an employee, how do I know if I should be getting minimum wage or I should be getting overtime? Right. And I know this is a huge code, so I don't need specific details, but certainly tell us a little bit
General
about
details, yeah, of course. So non-exempt employees are covered under FLSA. What is a non-exempt employee? A non-exempt employee is typically someone who is an hourly employee, a waiter or waitress who receives tips, maybe people in sales, someone who is not a manager, who's not licensed, not an expert. If you get into the managerial positions, those are exempt employees who shouldn't be covered. Now, I want you to be careful, though. Employers have caught on to this, and they're smart, and they set you up. So they're going to call you a manager, even though you're not a manager, to try to avoid FLSA. So just because you're labeled a manager doesn't mean you may not have a claim. You are still owed overtime. You are still owed a minimum wage. There's a test within FLSA to determine if you're just labeled manager to avoid the law, but if you can meet the test, you can still make an FLSA claim. But you need an attorney who understands it, and you need to give us a call, 888-88-LEGAL. We're here to help you.
That's right, Alexis. Don't let your employer play any tricks or games on you. Give us a call. The number's on the screen, 888-88-LEGAL. We want to be able to help you, and you should know your rights.
And talking about tips and tricks and all that good stuff, I know earlier, Attorney Rodriguez, we were talking about a workers' compensation case that came to the office and had a consultation with us. And one of the things they said was that immediately upon being injured, they were immediately assigned someone from the insurance company. They make it seem like they're really there for you. They really care about you. And the first thing they said to the person was, don't let an attorney get to your head. Don't hire an attorney. Is that good advice on these cases, Attorney Rodriguez? Do they have attorneys on the other end?
Absolutely not. Of course they have attorneys. And the one thing, we get a lot of calls sometimes saying, listen, you know what? We've gotten our medicals paid. I'm getting a check every week. Well, guess what? How do you know that check is the right amount? One of the things we do is we get all the payroll records. And once we do that, we're going to help Alexis Garcia check out if you have an overtime claim. But with those payroll records, let me give you an example. If you work at Target, right, and you get hurt at Target, you're making $500 a week, they're going to send you a check based on those wages. But what they don't tell you is if you're also working at night as an Uber driver, they have to include the Uber driver wages with your Target wages. So you're getting underpaid and you don't even know it. They're not going to tell you that.
Wow.
They don't care. They'd rather, instead of giving you that extra $200, only give you what they're paid under the Target. So those are little nuances of the law, little things, little tricks they like to play that you're never going to know, never going to understand unless you hire an attorney from PraDa Law. And it's simple. You call the number on your screen. We're going to call you back. We're going to explain to you. We're going to put your facts to the law and get you the outcome that you deserve.
So wait a minute, you're telling me that if I'm like most Americans and I have 2 or 3 jobs and I get injured at one of those jobs, I can, as part of my compensation, of workers' compensation, my salary, I can also get the money that I'm missing out on from the other jobs?
Absolutely correct. I mean, the legal term is concurrent employment.
Wow.
So you get hurt at Target, but you have 2, 3, 4, 5 other jobs. The workers' comp carrier from Target has to include all of those wages when they send you that check.
And they're not going to do that for you. You need an attorney to bring that up. They're not going to call you and say, oh, we know you also have a part-time job, right? I mean,
again, these adjusters, to be fair, they have hundreds and hundreds of cases. They're not going to take the time to go through all the facts of your case. They're going to do the easiest thing, the most simple thing possible, and the least expensive thing to the insurance company. And guess what? The only one that's getting hurt is you. That's why you have to hire an attorney. You have to hire someone from PraDa Law to help you.
That's right. Don't let them get the best of you. Know your rights. You have the right to this money. If you have several jobs, you need to know that you can get paid for an injury that you may have at another job. So give us a call. The number's on the screen, 888-88-LEGAL. We want to hear from you.
You know who else isn't doing you any favors is your employer when it comes down to what Ms. Garcia was talking about earlier.
Exactly, you know, and the thing is, a lot of individuals will feel, oh, as an employee, I didn't keep my exact records. I'm not exactly sure how much I worked and if it was paid. You know what? That's not your burden. That's your employer's burden to prove it. If you don't think you were paid, come in, you tell us, we file your complaint, we make the allegation, let them prove up their time records, let them show that they properly paid you. I'm going to bet they can't show that.
And it's really interesting because oftentimes when you bring a claim, the burden's on you. So knowledge is power, guys. We are going to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. We have a lot to talk about: personal injury, labor, and workers' compensation. Stay tuned.
I know you're home right now asking yourself, how? How will I pay my rent, my mortgage, my bills, my credit card debt? I'm attorney Alexis Garcia with PraDa Law. I've personally helped people with financial problems over the last 10 years. I understand what you are going through. We saw people lose it all in the 2008 financial crisis. You don't have to lose it all. The consultation is free. Call us now. I will help protect what you have built. You have nothing to lose by calling us. Call us now. These are trying times. This deadly virus is affecting our health, economy, jobs, our small business owners. Bankruptcy protection may be able to save assets and immediately stop your creditors from harassing you. Small business owners, employees of business of any size, we know you need help. Call us now. We will help you get back on your feet. Don't wait until it's too late. This is the time to call.
Sé que estás en la casa ahora mismo preguntándote, ¿cómo voy a pagar la hipoteca, la renta, los biles, las tarjetas de crédito? Soy la abogada Jennifer Pratt con PraDa Law. Yo personalmente he ayudado a las personas con problemas financieros durante los últimos 10 años. Yo entiendo por lo que estás pasando. Vimos cómo la gente lo perdió todo durante la crisis financiera del 2008. No tienes que perderlo todo. Llama ahora. La consulta es gratis. Te ayudaremos a proteger todo lo que has construido durante todos estos años. Sabemos que estos son tiempos difíciles. Este virus mortal está amenazando nuestra salud, nuestra economía, nuestros empleos y a los propietarios de nuestras pequeñas empresas. La consulta es gratis. Llame ahora. Te ayudaremos a recuperarte. No esperes hasta que sea demasiado tarde. Llame ya.
Welcome back to PraDa Law Live. Once again, I'm Jackie Mendez. We're here with Attorney Pratt, Attorney Garcia, and Attorney Rodriguez. We're talking to you about labor laws, workman's comp, personal injury. If you've been in an accident, we want to talk to you a little bit more about that, actually. If you've been in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall, there's a number on your screen, 888-88-LEGAL. We have the answers to your questions. Jennifer can talk to us a little bit about that.
That's right. And, with personal injury cases, it's so important that you try to come to us as soon as you're injured. I'm talking about, you're still on the floor. Call me. Okay, you're at the hospital, have your relative, your friends, anybody call me, because the sooner I'm in the case, the better I can guide you through. That doesn't mean that because I took your case later on, I still can't be an effective attorney for you, but certainly the sooner you give us a call, the more advice I can give you. And I think that resonates for all the cases, right?
Yeah, Attorney Pratt, how long do you have to bring a claim if you've been injured or in a car accident?
So you have 4 years. It's called the statute of limitations, and I know that labor cases and workers' compensation cases also have statute of limitations.
We can talk, for a labor case, you can actually go back 2 years for unpaid wages and unpaid overtime. You can go back 3 years if you can prove your employer did it willfully. Ooh. Meaning, a lot of the time, small employers, even though they're small, they still have to apply with FLSA, but they won't have the bookkeeping, and it's really a mistake on their part. A lot of times it's not malicious, it's just a mistake on their part, misunderstanding of the law, improper application, whatever it may be. But if you can prove there was some willful mispaying there, you can go back 3 years. And if you combine your action to bring both federal and state charges, you can even go back 4 years. Wow. So there's a lot of, if you can prove different elements with it, every case is different. Bring your facts to us, bring your case to us, and we will let you know all the options you have available.
And Attorney Rodriguez, what about workers' compensation? How far back can I go? I'm out of work right now. I haven't worked in a year. Can I still try to get a workers' compensation claim?
Sure. So workers' comp has kind of like a two-prong approach. So it's 2 years from the date of the accident. So you can go back as far as 2 years from today, or it's 1 year from the last time you got medical treatment approved by the workers' comp carrier. What does that mean? You could have had your accident 10 years ago. You've gotten medical treatment every year for the last 10 years, at least once during that calendar year, and then in the last year you've had medical treatment paid for by the workers' comp, and you still have an open claim. That's why I always tell people, you may have a claim and you don't even know you have a claim. Something that happened to you many, many years ago, but you've continued to treat under the workers' comp system year after year after year, and you're still able to bring forth a claim, get those medical benefits paid, get those checks every week, and most importantly, get a settlement. The insurance companies are never going to talk to you about a settlement because they want these cases just gradually go away. but you have money there waiting for you, especially during these times. It's important to know the law, know the facts, and let us help you apply those facts to the law.
Thank you, Attorney Rodriguez. It's very informative. Once again, if you've had a claim a couple years back, 4 years with personal injury, up to 2 years with workman's comp, there's still a chance for you to open up your case and for us to help you. The number's on the screen, 888-88-LEGAL. Give us a call. The consultation is totally free. So
You have nothing to lose.
you have absolutely nothing to lose. Give us a call, 888-888-LEGAL.
And I'd like to talk a little bit about, too, with the labor law claims, because I think Attorney Rodriguez touched upon, maybe you don't know. I know a lot of individuals may not understand how tipping works, like if you're a waitress or if you do sales. Now, you can be paid less than minimum wage as a waitress, but the tips you make that week have to meet the minimum wage at least. So if you have a bad week and you get your minimum wage for the below minimum for the hours worked and your tips don't give you the hours to the minimum wage, you have a claim.
Wow.
So you don't think you do, or you may not be aware of your claim, but you have a claim there. So that's why it's just so important. Don't be afraid. You have rights. These laws were built for the employees in these cases, and just give us a call and we'll guide you through your case.
That's excellent.
That's right. It's just so many nuances to these cases. And even in the personal injury context, there's oftentimes you'll have a multi-vehicle accident, right? And one of the favorite things for adjusters to do is say, not it. Not it. And they'll say that it's not their client's fault. And when you have multi-vehicles, it can get very complicated. I suggest you don't bring that kind of case to just any attorney. It should be an attorney that has experience, that knows how to designate liability percentages to each vehicle to try to maximize your payout at the end of the day. And one of the biggest differences with our office when we take on any of these cases, any of these free cases, is that we're not just going to work up your case to a settlement and then force you to take a settlement. We are willing and ready to litigate. We are litigators first and foremost, and we are not afraid to file a lawsuit and defend your case in court. Attorney Garcia?
Yeah, that's interesting too, because with the labor cases, sometimes it's beneficial to litigate because a lot of the times in any type of legal case, you're pushed to settle because you never know what's going to happen. Can you prove everything all the way?
That is true.
What is the standard? Are you going to make it? Who's trying the case? Now, in a labor case, if you've claimed years of underpay and hours, but you can't prove it all because employers bring records, but the employers who have to prove it and they fail to prove 1 hour.
Wow.
1 day of minimum wage. You've won and your fees are covered. Your employer has to pay your fees and you're entitled to double compensation in these types of cases, so you really have nothing to lose.
I mean, Attorney Garcia, the bankruptcy department does not want to lose you. You sound very passionate about these cases. Commercial break is, production is saying we're going to be wrapping up in the next 2 minutes. I would love to hear from actually, you know what? Let's hear from Jackie one last time before we close out the show today.
Well, I definitely want to remind everybody that number's on the screen. The consultation is free. The call is free. 888-88-LEGAL. Give us a call. We're ready to represent you. We're ready to defend you. If you have a case, give us a call.
All the bankruptcy clients are like, oh no, what's going on? Attorney Garcia, she's not. Attorney Rodriguez, we've got about 2 minutes left of the show. I'd love to hear, some last few words about workers' compensation and how it is that someone can come and talk to you and meet with you here at PraDa Law.
I just want to circle back where we started. The simple question is, have you got hurt in the job? If the answer to that question is yes, you have a case and you should call us. You have nothing to lose. We talked about this being the free show. The consultation's free, the call you make is free, and you don't pay us a dime.
That's right.
Every time you call us, you email us, you text us, we're working for you. The only way we get paid is if we put money in your pocket through a settlement. With workers' comp, they gotta pay for your medical benefits. They gotta pay your weekly checks while you're not working, and it's first and foremost the settlement. They're never gonna talk to you about that settlement. It's so important for you people out there to know that there's monies that you're available to get, but you have to hire a qualified, experienced attorney to fight for you on your side.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't leave money on the table. You have a right to an attorney. You have a right to come into our office. You have a free consultation. Tell us about your case. If we can help you, believe me, we will. When we take on these cases, it's a huge risk that we also take. We're willing to take it for you. All our free cases. That's our show today. Personal injury, workers' comp, and of course, labor cases. Give us a call. The first consultation is free. We can't wait to see you at the office. That's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. I'm Jennifer Pratt, signing off. Thank you.